Hello and welcome back to day 2, and today's topic is gut health. So every day this week I'm going to be building on what we did the day before. So yesterday was all about heart health and today's all about gut health, but of course the two things are going to be slightly interlinked, and so some of the advice I give you for one thing will also carry over to day 2, day 3, day 4. And if I set you a task on day 1, I'd like you to try and do it on day 2 too, so that you're going to be making a series of small changes throughout the week, and then you can see how many of those you can continue with. So gut health, we're going to look at that from different ways, a different pronged approach. So many people say to me that one of the things that really upsets them, frustrates them, and they just wish they didn't have was this meno belly, which sometimes happens as people get a little bit older. They've never had a big tummy before, but they just notice that everything's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. One of the old adages that many people are used to hearing or reading or seeing is that a good body is made in the kitchen, or a good body happens at the end of the fork, which is indicative that basically it's all to do with what you eat. Unfortunately, as we get to our midlife, that's not entirely the case. Yes, what you eat, of course, it is important. You can't just throw it all out the window and say, I'm going to eat what I want and everything will be fine. But in fact, it becomes as much about your stress levels and managing to manage your stress as about what you're eating. So you could say that this good body is actually made in bed or where you are resting. So I will be posting a few tips during the day, but I would like you to think about your restorative, recuperative or rest elements of your life. Do you manage to get in some kind of meditation, whether that's moving meditation, perhaps swimming? For me, it's often walking my dog. Do you do a yoga class, one that is a restorative yoga class? Do you perhaps go for a swim? Again, not the calorie burning, heart rate high, but one of those lovely relaxing swims if it's relaxing for you. What do you do in your week, 2 or 3 times in your week, to make sure you get some you time? And if you're not one for classes, if you can't afford classes, you can perhaps do some free online classes, or you can run yourself a bath, light yourself a candle, turn on some music and get in and have what I call a little bit of tiara time. So that's one element of maintaining or trying to get back to a flatter stomach. The other one is that it's important to bring the movement and exercise into your day-to-day life. So yesterday I gave you a heart rate raising 3 different options for exercise, and that's something that's very important. But today I'm going to tell you that I think it would be a good idea for you to bring in some kind of strength training. Now, when I say strength training, you can't go willy-nilly just going and lifting up the heaviest weights you can bring home from decathlon or something like that. You need to be a little cautious. Perhaps you need to be aware of your pelvic floor, or if you've got some bony problems, osteoporosis, then you need to be aware of that too. But I'll be posting a video with some options for you to think about that. So strength training has the effect of generating more muscle, not great big bulky muscles, but generating more muscle. If you've got more muscle on board, then it takes more calories for you to run your body. Your body needs more fuel. So as well as the restorative exercise, just making sure your body is working at its optimum, it's using the muscle that it's got, is another way of using up the calories that you're putting in. So that becomes important. Changes in your tissues mean that you're more prone to having gas, keeping gas on board, being a little bit bloated. So simple things like eating slowly, chewing at least 30 times. Those of you who know me or have eaten out with me know that it's boringly slow, embarrassing for me sometimes. I do actually try and slow down, but chew your food, eat mindfully. I have this great thing about people eating food that they love and not even noticing that they're enjoying it. So next time you're reaching for that food, make sure you're actually sitting at your table and drink or eat that food in a mindful way, rather than just churning it down, eating al desco. Here I am at my desk and I've got my cup of hot water here, because it would be very easy for me just to drink 6 cups of coffee or tea a day and not even notice that I'm enjoying them. I'm working, I'm at my desk. So actually it makes sense for me to have something that's keeping my fluids up, but it's not doing anything to my caffeine. So chewing nice and slowly. And finally, good bacteria, a good probiotic. So This is not my specialist area. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm qualified to give nutrition guidance, but there are many, many probiotics that you can buy out there, starting from live yogurt. Personally, I'm a great advocate of apple cider vinegar, something that I make, but you can buy it. Kefir water or kefir milk, kimchi, sauerkraut, anything that's fermented will put some good bacteria back into your gut. Now, if your gut is working in its optimum way, that also means that you're not going to be absorbing more fat or more calories from the food that you're putting into it. So there's a simple, and it is very simple, stringed approach to looking at your gut. Start with your rest and your restorative exercise. Make sure you're sleeping properly, you're getting enough sleep. Start to think about doing some strength work. Start to think about the way you eat, not eating mindlessly, and a good probiotic. There's some things you can do tomorrow. I'll be posting an exercise sample and I'll be back during the day.